Hi guys! Hi guys. That's my cat. And we are watching a movie called Wednesday. And look guys. And guess what? I got it Santa. I got it a cat from Santa at Christmas. Look at her. Look at her. And that is me.
How are we? First and foremost, this is the position I was in on day one. Literally this exact position, in this chair, in this room. I'm back in Alice Springs. The last video you saw was on Friday. Today is Wednesday. I've been back in Alice since Saturday. And if you did happen to watch my last video, that would have come out on day 47. Today, effectively, is day 52. And in that video, I relapsed. I mean, that's what you got to call it. I've relapsed twice during these last 50 odd days. That's what I'm going to call them, because at the end of the day, I didn't want that to happen, but it did, and it was a definite moment of weakness, especially in Melbourne. That was a real, that's just me being completely and utterly weak, you know. I was alone, I had no one around, and I needed some company. And the company that I got was the alcohol. That's pretty much exactly how it went. And you know, I didn't buy a little bottle. I bought a big bottle, and I had probably about seven or eight standard drinks that night. And then finally got to Alice Springs, and my kids didn't know I was coming, so it was a surprise. And I'll always remember this moment where the girls came in the house and they saw me and they ran over to me and gave me the biggest hug. And then I had a look in Tristan's eyes, my youngest daughter, who's just turned 4 recently, and she was crying. She was crying. She had tears in her eyes. And that says to me that they love me and I am their dad. And they must have missed me, you know. And I haven't seen them show emotion like that for me, really. And that was a really, really special moment, and I'll never forget it. And it just hammers home, you know, how important it is to have a father in a child's life, you know. So that was a really rewarding and emotional moment, and had a great night, great Saturday night. I did continue to drink. I had probably 10 or 11 standard drinks on Saturday night, and then Sunday came around, and had another good day, but once again supplemented by alcohol, and I'd finished that bottle, and it wasn't enough. It took 3 days for me to get back in that cycle after having, 12 or so days sober. So we went 14 days sober, then we've gone 21 days straight drinking. Then I've gone another 11 days sober, and then I've had, yesterday was my first day off, being a Tuesday, so it was 4 days straight, 4 days of drinking. So 14, 21, 11, and 4. And that means, actually, let me do some maths. That is literally 25 days on and 25 days off. So as I sit here in front of you on Wednesday morning, I've had 2 job interviews, one on Monday and one on Tuesday, both with a hangover. Both interviews, I don't know how the fuck I did it, but I pulled up my socks and I did it because I had to. And then yesterday was really rough. Really rough. I felt like absolute shit because I went from 7 standard drinks to 10 standard drinks to what I was about to say. I finished that bottle and I went and got some more on Sunday, so it was about 15 standard drinks, and then on Monday I pushed it really hard and I probably had about 20. And so it's a peak that you'll never reach. I always just want more and I can't stop, and I don't want to stop because it makes me feel not so much happy, but it makes me feel good. It makes me feel confident. It makes me feel lovable and jolly. But it's not sustainable, and it's so unhealthy. It's killing me. It's killing me. It's killing me mentally and physically. And so yesterday, I managed to get through the day without drinking. And I've woken up this morning feeling semi-human, certainly not 100%. I haven't trained since Wednesday last week. So, I'm not going to. Basically, I've been spending the morning cleaning the house. It's a bit of a pigsty, but been working through that, washing and loads of washing and cleaning the floors and the bench tops and outside and sweeping up and unpacking my suitcase finally. So just been just working through different tasks this morning, productive tasks, keeping myself busy. And hopefully I hear back from one of those job interviews relatively soon, because I desperately need a routine. And, I know that. I know that for a fact, that I've had more than enough time off, off from work, away from my kids over the last 3 years. More than enough. And a day that goes by where I'm not working or I'm not building my financial health is a day absolutely wasted. I don't want to retire. If you had asked me 5 years ago, do you want to retire in a year? Yeah, I would have said absolutely. Now, not so much. You get to a point where all this time spent alone it's idle time, and the quote goes, an idle mind is the devil's workshop, and that is basically what has happened to me. And that's what happened on Friday. I shouldn't. I really don't want to have disappointed anyone out there too much, but I feel like a lot of you are on my side. I feel like a lot of you have struggled with this in the past, or possibly struggling with it right now, and you'll understand how seductive it is, especially in times of loneliness and emotional need, So, I've managed to cut it off again. I would be an absolute idiot if I went and bought some more alcohol today. I can't afford it, and I am sick and tired of waking up suboptimally. I'm sick and tired of waking up sick and tired. It's fucking shit. It is a drag. I get depressed and I get super anxious. My heart rate goes all over the place the whole day. And the only thing that calms it down, and I can watch it, I can literally watch it happen. The only thing that calms it down and puts me back in that sweet spot is another drink. And the worse I feel in the morning, the earlier I want that drink to be. And then I'm drink driving, and I've got kids to pick up and drop off from school and shit like that. It's just, fuck, mate, you need to get real. And that I am, you know. So, yeah, I thought I definitely needed to check in for myself as much as anything else. And, just continue this series and be as open and honest as possible. And hope, I'm so close. I mean, if you had asked me yesterday, I would have told you, nah, that's it. I'm not drinking. I'm never drinking again. I'm done with it. I can't control it. It controls me. And any time that I think I'm just going to have a few or whatever, it's just, the bottle never runs out at the right time. It's never a perfect time to quit. Never. So, you've just got to do it eventually. And yeah, yesterday was not easy. I desperately wanted to drink, but one thing that I did have on my side is that in Alice Springs they don't sell takeaway alcohol on Mondays or Tuesdays. So it was kind of out of my hands. I would have had to go to a bar or a club and sit in there, and that would have been really, really fucking shameful, to be honest. It's not as if I'm going to meet a friend or have a meal or anything like that. It would just be going in there, buying 2 or 3, 4 glasses of wine, downing them as fast as possible, and then leaving, $30, $35 down, coming home in, what I tell myself is a good mood, but knowing that, you've just gone and done it again. And I'd wake up, and that night I probably wouldn't be kicking myself because I've got alcohol in my system. But once you start the withdrawal process, waking up that next morning, it is the pits. It's the fucking pits. And I've got kids bouncing around and needing their father. So, alright, so I've just got a message that my daughter is actually coming home early from school. So, that's my day done. I'm glad I've got this video shot. I will edit it on the channel, and I just hope that, you see that weakness that I showed on yesterday's video as just, it was a response to a very emotional situation that I had myself in. I wanted to get back to my kids on Friday. I desperately did. I had to wait till Saturday. And I gave in, big time. So, my plan for the rest of the week is I've got my daughter, my youngest daughter, who's coming home now. She goes to preschool 2.5 days a week, so it was Monday, Tuesday, and today. Thursday, Friday, I'm going to have her at home. So that should be fun. And whilst we hang out together, I will be attempting to work through some more of these videos. I want to get that finished before I start a full-time job, and draw a line in the sand and say, right, post these videos, just make whatever content you feel like, but certainly don't feel pressured into it, and don't feel as if you need to make content. Don't feel as if, any type of content that will trigger that want for alcohol, because it just makes it more fun for me, is just not feasible. It's not worthwhile. It doesn't make me any money for a start, and all it does is make me spend money. And mate, this is the start of the rest of my life, man. I gotta level up. This series, fuck, man. Oh, as I was about 10 standard drinks deep on Monday, knowing that I had about 10 more to drink, I started thinking, man, you've just let yourself down so much, so often. Delete this channel and move on. But I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. There have been moments where I've sort of said too much, I reckon, and has put me in a very, very, very vulnerable position. but this is my way of working through it. I've got to be truthful to myself, and I've got to be truthful to my audience. And I have an audience, and it's an audience that I really appreciate. So that's enough from me. Tristan's almost home, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.